Hi, I'm Wayne the Boat Guy, and today I want to talk to you about my new boat and all of its problems. I moved over here because the sun happens to be in such a position that it works a little bit better over here. It's a very windy day out here on the Magathie, but we're running out of good days for boating this year, so I'm taking advantage of any of the days that I can to take my boat out. And I wanted to talk quickly about some of the problems that I have found with my new boat. When we purchased this boat, we knew it wasn't perfect, and I went through it quite well, I think, and I discovered a lot of the things that I saw were wrong with this boat. Some of the first things that I noticed was that across the back, the cushion that's across the back of the boat, the staples had come out of that, and the wood that mounts to, some of that is rotted away. So that'll be something I'll be addressing this winter. I'd like to take that whole cushion apart, see if I could put a new board in and reattach the padding and the vinyl to a brand new board and make that good as new. Some other problem areas are the hatches to the where the porta-pod is. The top hatch is completely broken. There it is in my hand, and so I need to replace that. And that's the top hatch latch. And then there's a piston that holds the top hatch up, and that piston is not supporting it. The glove box, the previous owner said he glued the glove box shut because it wouldn't stay shut. So I'm going to address that, see if I can fix that correctly. This boat spent most of its time right here in the Magathie River, and the previous owner didn't feel it was necessary to have a VHF radio in here. I've learned a lot about VHF radios, and I feel that they're very valuable, if not essential. And I'll be installing a new VHF radio in here, hopefully over the winter, with an antenna and everything. So that'll be a neat project. This stereo on this boat has 4 speakers, and only one of them seems to work. There's one back there, which the speaker grill is all busted up on. It might just be disconnected. It looks like there were some wires hanging there. And these other 2, I don't know. I haven't dug into them yet, but they're not working. There's also some question with regards to the tilt and trim on the outboard part of this inboard outboard. And the previous owner said it didn't have that, and the switch doesn't do anything. So I'm going to be taking a good look at that this winter. That could be my biggest challenge because that is something that's actually, could be expensive or challenging to repair. The covers on the boat are old, worn. Some of their snaps and latches are missing. And matter of fact, there's 3 metal posts that help hold tension on the covers to keep them so the water will run off of them and then keep the covers nice and tight. And the one for the bow cover, we lost that pole right away because whenever we first got the boat and we covered it over, I accidentally snapped the cover over top of my bow lines. And so when the wind picked up, it's unsnapped the front of that cover, flipped the cover back, and the metal post went flying. And I have no idea where that metal post went. It's either in the creek somewhere or somebody else picked it up, but I have no more front metal posts, so I'll be having to fabricate a new post for the front. The speedometer on this boat does not work. A lot of these have broken speedometers, but I'm going to look into that, play around with it, see really what it takes to get these things working again. And there's some staining on the side of the hull that I'm going to be addressing this winter as well. That'll be kind of fun. I've had a few people give me some advice for some things that I could try for that. I also had some challenges with regards to the oil alarm. The low pressure oil alarm would go off on the dash, and I've been looking into that a little bit. I'm not too concerned about it because the low pressure oil alarm was only going off after the engine was very warm. I know that there's plenty of oil in the engine, and whenever I'm at idle speeds. So one of the things that could be a problem is aground. The VDO gauges in these boats sometimes get problems with loose grounds, and it'll set off the alarm thinking that the oil pressure is low when actually it's fine. There's a few different ways that I can work on that. I can check mechanical oil pressure back at the engine. I can do some other tests. I can look for a loose ground here at the dash. There's a few things that I can do to look into that problem. Because my oil level is fine and this engine has low hours on it and runs great, I'm not too concerned about that. I would like to get that sorted so that a low oil pressure alarm isn't something I become used to hearing and think that it means nothing. There's also a couple of issues with my trailer. I have a couple missing lug studs on one side, and it uses a 5-pin plug. And all I've ever seen before is the 4-pin straight or the circular plug. This one uses a 5-pin straight plug, which I thought was very odd. I've never seen anything like it. So I have to get an adapter for that. The previous owner loaned me his so that I could take the trailer home, but I need to purchase one for myself so that I can use the trailer with lights if I ever need to. I don't know if you can tell or not, but it's very windy out here today. And a big boat went by a little bit ago, making quite a big wake. And it might look like I'm getting thrown around a lot, but it's a whole lot less than I did in my old boat. It's not that bad, actually. So we've been running this boat some. We've used it pretty regularly, and these are the only problems we found so far. Everything else seems to be working as it should. And all these problems are just very minor things, areas that we can improve this boat to make it a little bit better. I'm sure as I go through the winter, I'll find a few more things that I'll want to do and improve and fix. Don't get me wrong, I'm not complaining. I'm not saying that this boat is terrible or anything like that. Just pointing out a few of the things that we have found so far since owning this boat. The canvas covers, we'll probably be ordering new canvas covers. I'm not sure exactly where and how we're going to get those, but I'd like to have new covers whenever we go to launch the boat again next year, so that way it snaps down correctly in all the places it should, and they fit nice and snug. The covers that we've been using are the original covers, so they're 19 years old. They're way at the end of their life. There's also a cover for the bimini top that is in pretty bad shape. The zipper in that is, the handles of the zipper are broken. But that's it. We're really happy with the way this boat runs. We're really happy with the way this boat drives and rides. My wife loves going out on it. My fuel usage has been very similar to what my old boat was. The engine is much quieter, and we've gone all over the place, and I really haven't used a whole lot of fuel at all. I haven't measured it exactly, but this V8 car engine in here doesn't seem to use any more fuel than my old 2-stroke 90 horsepower Evinrude, which is really refreshing because I was very concerned about fuel use before I bought this boat. This winter I will be making more videos about this boat as I address any of these problems. I'll be making videos of the things that I fix, repair, tidy up. Be sure to subscribe, and by subscribing, if you ring the bell, that'll get you notified whenever a new video comes out. So as soon as I release a new video, you'll receive a notification saying that I've got a new video out, and you can keep up with what I'm doing with this boat. Well, that's it for this video. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you next time. And please, stay safe out there on the water.